Hello, it's April and welcome to my toy world. Today we have some fun figures to open up from Safari Ltd. We've got the Dragons of the Elements Toob and Knights and Dragons Toob. And we've got this fun little castle to build from Papo. So I'll go ahead and build this fun castle. Then we can open up our dragons and knights. Before I open up this Papo mini castle here, let's go ahead and take a close-up look. You can see it's made out of sort of a cardboard paper here. And you just put it together like so. And it can fit with smaller figures here. Both the smaller Papo figures as well as the smaller Safari Ltd tube figures and other smaller figures that you have to put in a castle scene. Here's the back of the box here, and you can see all the different parts and that we're going to put it together like so. So I'm going to go ahead now and open up this box and get our castle assembled. Here's what the inside of the Papo castle here looks like. You can see they're flat cardboard pieces that you punch out. Here are some of the pieces that I've already punched out, just like so, and you can see that it's got an instruction sheet here to show us how to put it together. Our Papo mini castle is all built, and it was really fun to put together. Not hard at all. The instructions were really clear, and the castle itself is very sturdy with lots of different play areas. So this is the back of the castle, and you can see that it's got a second floor here that the knights can climb up the stairs and go and defend their castle. It's got a tower here with a little top portion that some of the knights can look out on. And here is the front of the castle. You can see the doors and again the top here. So that is our castle, and it looks really fun. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and open up our Knights and Dragons Safari Ltd tube. So here is our Knights and Dragons tube. You can see all the different knights that we can put in our castle. Knights in shining armor lived in medieval times. And here is our first figure. This is not a knight. This is one of the tools that they would have used in battle. This is called a catapult. So a catapult, they would put something here and then pull it down, and then when they release it, it through whatever object was here, perhaps a cannonball or something like that. So this is a catapult. We'll put that outside of the castle there. And next we have a dragon. So we'll put our dragon in our scene here. We'll have more dragons to add too when we add our dragons from the dragon tube over there. Next we have this knight here. This knight has a lance. Looks like there's a flag on the end of it. He's wearing armor and a blue cape. We'll put him in the top of the castle. Next we have another knight carrying a flag. I think he can ride on a horse, so we'll have to set him aside until we find his horse. And here is one of the knight's horses. This horse also seems to have some sort of shield on it, perhaps even some armor. But it is all ready for a knight to ride on it. It looks like it's rearing up, like so. Put that right there. Here's another knight. This knight has a really cool bird on the top of his helmet. This is a very large sword and shield that he has here, a blue shield. Again, he's wearing armor. So there's that knight. We'll also put him in the castle. Then we have a red knight with a red shield, and it looks like an axe, a battle axe. So a knight with a red shield and a battle axe in his armor. And then we have a knight here carrying his flag, and this flag is red. This is a pikeman, it says. So a pikeman is someone armed with a pike. So that is his weapon there. And it's got a really cool red flag on it. So here's that soldier, or knight, I should say. Here we have another knight here in red with red feathers on the top of his armored helmet there, and a very big sword here. This is a knight with a great sword. We'll put him up on that side of the castle. And next we have this knight here ready to ride a horse. This one has a crown on, I think. This is a knight for the war horse here. So we will put this knight on this horse here. just like so. So he can be rearing back on his horse there. Then we've got a horse for this one too. Our last figure is this horse here. This is also a war horse. And this is for this knight to ride on. So there we have all of our knights and one green dragon here. Next, let's add some more dragons to our scene with this tube here, the Dragons of the Elements. Okay, so this is our Dragons of the Elements tube, and I believe there are 6 more dragons in here to add to our scene. So here is our first dragon. This is the Earth Dragon. Looks kind of like rock and dirt here. It's got a lot of spikes along it here. It's a very interesting kind of dragon. We'll hide him back here. We have a water dragon here. Look how sparkly that is. It's really neat. So the water dragon will of course live in the water. Next we have a fire dragon. Look at the interesting fire on this dragon. We should get out a volcano for him to live by. This is the air dragon. So it looks like he's living amongst the clouds in the air, flying through the air. This dragon is called the Flora Dragon. You can see it's made out of plant leaves. Looks like leaves there for his wings. And you can see vines and leaves along his back plate and side here. So Flora, the Flora Dragon. And lastly, we have the Ice Dragon. Look at that. That dragon is really cool. Looks like it's carved out of ice. So those are all the dragons from the Dragons of the Elements tube, and it looks like we have quite a scene set up here with our knights and our dragons. I'm going to go ahead and set up our diorama for one last look. Here's our mini Papo castle set up with our Safari tube knights and dragons, along with all the different dragons of the elements. Let's go ahead and take a look at the diorama that I've set up. The knights are protecting the castle from the dragons. Let's go ahead now and take a close-up look at all of the figures in our diorama. Is our Knights and Dragons scene. I hope you enjoyed checking out all of these fun figures as well as our mini castle. And I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.